Hey, Hammerhead here. This is day 6. You can see I started from Poplar Stamp Gap. We planned on sleeping at Low Gap the night before. Got down to Low Gap Shelter, and everywhere you could look, there was mounds and mounds of people. The shelter was full, so we just got some water and headed on about a mile further to this Poplar Stamp Gap, which was fine, good camping. Maybe 6 or 7 tents could go there. And I kept hiking from there, and it was a good bit of ways up here to Blue Mountain Shelter. Passed some nice pictures along the way. I saw a campsite my son and I stayed at. So basically like 6 miles in, got up to Blue Mountain Shelter. Blue Mountain Shelter is really out there exposed. I would not recommend sleeping there in the wintertime, but I bet it's nice in the summertime, or at least in nice weather, because it is out on a bluff on top of a mountain. But I ate lunch there, took off a lot of clothes, and got down to just my long sleeve t-shirt and shorts, as it was getting over 50 degrees. So, and I hiked down into Unicoi Gap. I will tell you that the down and up on both sides of Unicoi Gap is really significant. So it took my time going down, headed back up Rocky Mount. There's a picture of me actually in the gap at the bottom there. There's a rock with a sign on it, and made my way over to Cheese Factory, which is where the video part ends. And man, it's a nice campsite. There's enough camping there for probably, I don't know, 20 tents. There's a lot of camping there. Water's not too far away. I recommend the Cheese Factory campsite for sure. There's a picture of Unicoi Gap up and down. But the Cheese Factory's all good. And like I say, that day ended up being 12. If I was coming from Low Gap Shelter, it would have been 13. I don't know that I'd recommend that unless you're feeling good. But it was a pretty rough day. I was ready to get to camp. My feet were hurting. My legs were hurting. And the next day was a rain day. So the next day, I was trying to decide if I was going to stay at Deep Gap Shelter or actually just hike onto my truck. As I say in the end of the video, I'm only about 14 miles from my truck. But the next morning, when I woke up, it was, and I was starting to pack up. It started raining. It never did stop raining except for briefly. So it was a pretty long day, the next day in the rain. But this day was great, sunny the whole time, probably the best day and the best weather on the trail. It started out cold, but got up over 50, and certainly was the hardest day so far. That day is even harder than going over Blood Mountain, for sure. It's very, very up and down. Nice trail taken care of, but definitely a mountain trail. So great day. I was winding down my week. I only had 1 day or 1.5 days left, depending on how the weather and how I felt. So I was, my pack was getting lighter. My food was getting eaten down. So enjoy the rest, and didn't do as much videoing as I should have that day. I should have got some more Blue Mountain Shelter and whatnot, but here it is, and look forward to seeing y'all. Love you. Bye. Good morning. It's Hammerhead on the trail. Hammerhead Outdoors. There's a picture over some mountains, the sun rising. It's Thursday morning, and I'm excited to be on the trail. I'm a couple miles up from Low Gap. We stayed a mile up from Low Gap Shelter at Poplar Stamp Gap. But I wanted to video this for my son and I. We 2 Christmases ago came out the day after Christmas and hiked an out and back, and we went to Low Gap, decided not to stay there. We decided to come back here. We stayed here, and it's just a little campsite right off of the trail, literally 10 steps off the trail. We tented there, and kind of on a little bit of a bluff, as you can see. The trail goes north here. I got about 5 miles to go to, 5.5 miles to go to Blue Mountain Shelter, where I'm going to eat lunch, and then we're going to go down into Unicoi Gap, back up over Rocky Mountain, and then down into a gap, and then partway up Trey Mountain. We're going to stay at the cheese factory tonight. Today will be about a 12-mile day, and God willing, a good one. Supposed to get up to 59 degrees, so I'll be down to shorts and a t-shirt before it's all over with climbing up Rocky Mountain. I can't wait for that. So been a few days. Last night was 25 degrees. Froze my particulars off. Lower half was warm in my thermal blanket. Upper half was a little challenge till I put my puffy on, got my down puffy on, and finally got some sleep. So anyway, should sleep good tonight, nice and warm. So love you guys. Hammerhead out. Good morning on the trail. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, Hammerhead here. Got my head all twisted. Just stopping before I get to the cheese factory site, which is a campsite I'm heading to tonight. It's about 4:15. It's starting to get darker and cloudier. Tomorrow's supposed to be a rain day. Hoping to get up and out before the rain starts. I'm just checking right now what time the rain's supposed to start. So I'm trying to get up and out before then. But I'm just filling up my water, so when I go to camp, I got a full complement of water. I can eat dinner, take my vitamins, tomorrow morning make coffee, and then walk to the next water site and not worry about doing it at camp. Camp's always a busy place, and I don't want to do it there. So anyway, going to get on that and go to the restroom here in a second. Look forward to tomorrow. I'm either going to hike 9 miles to a shelter, deep gap shelter, or I'm going to hike the 13.8 miles to my car. So 14 miles to the car, one of the two. So if it's raining and nasty and I don't want to camp, I'm going to stop at that shelter and eat, fuel up, take my pack off for 15-20 minutes, and then I'll just walk the last 4 miles to the car and go get a hotel. So anyway, all is well. Loving it out here. Starting to get darker. I'd like to get to the camp, so I'm going to say good night here. But it's been a great day. This is Thursday, and I am quite far along in my trek of 78 miles. I've only got, right now, I think I'm only 14 miles, 14 and a half miles right now from the car. So almost there, and could end tomorrow, could end Saturday morning. All depends on how the weather goes. So love you guys. Hammerhead out, having a great time. About to drink some mountain water right there after I treat it with some aqua mure. Love you. Bye.